Oh, is the intro done? We're fucking on. We're finally back.
Let's get it.
The man himself, Gaz, from TikTok. You've seen him on TikTok, Instagram. You're a bit famous.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Is it weird? Do people recognise you and shit?
They do, bro. Yeah, I do. I get some.
Do you still fucking get some, like, or someone says your name, you're like, oh, fuck.
I try to be like, I think, fuck, someone go, hey, I'll give them time of day, I don't want to be that snob that fucking leave me alone. But, yeah, man, I get noticed a bit. It's crazy. It's been a wild ride.
So I won't make you, because you've told the story fucking a million times, I won't make you tell your story. But for anyone who watches this, yeah, you're probably sick of telling the same story. But for anyone who doesn't know what you're about and like where you came from, maybe just give like a real fucking brief glaze over your story.
Yep, sweet as. So I come from the western suburbs of Melbourne, a low economic area. Mum was a good person. She, was a nurse all her life. Or my life, sorry, most of her life she's been a nurse. She had 3 boys, but a mortgage, and then, bad choice in men. So it was a little bit hard for money, Dads weren't there. It's just mum and 3 boys, and we're pretty broke. So, we come from area Melton, out west. It's pretty rough out there, bit of a ghetto. And so, yeah, man, I had a bit of go-getter attitude on life, like, as a young kid, maybe, smash some windows or fucking get in some fights, that sort of dumb shit. And then, yeah, man, just stepped into the streets. There was nothing but gangs and, drugs and all the rest of it. And took on a shit career path, which was being a crook. And occupational hazard of that life, obviously, jail for a very long time or dead, washed up on drugs. So pretty much ticked all them boxes a few times. And that was it, man. Like, yeah, I just fucking ended up... Cut a long story short, I've fucking all been shot at, stabbed, fucking fights, 7 years prison, convicted drug trafficker, serious violent offender, all the bullshit that comes from that life. And then we're sitting in the courtroom looking at the rest of my life in prison. I was alleged bunch of alleged gang-related kidnappings. So, and there was a handful of them. So, if I was found guilty, it would have been a minimum of 15 years, anywhere up to 25.
Yeah, right.
And so that sort of hit the switch. I thought, oh, fucking, it's not all it's meant to be. This is shit. What a shit career choice, That was in my early 30s. And then, yeah, man, ended up being found not guilty. Lost some mates during the trial and stuff. It was just a crazy time. And then walked away from a life of crime and fucking thought, oh, well, fucking, what am I going to do now? I'm just going to be a normal guy in the street. And, obviously I didn't have my eye on the prize anymore. I have no fire in my belly and everything come crashing down around me. And ended up becoming a raging drug addict, I
remember you saying, we were talking, we went and had breakfast before, and you were saying when you were actually slinging, you weren't involved in usage, like, barely at all.
Yeah, nah.
Which is fucking wild. That's like...
Yeah.
And then you got into drugs when you were, 30.
Yeah. While I was in the streets making money, taking drugs was just a shit choice, like, it was or I'd get paid for selling them than take them, That was just what was cool in our area. A lot of guys I seen around on the gear and shit were just like, oh, yeah, gronks, and the gear, we'll just sell it and that. Fucking, yeah, well, that's the way I looked at it until I left the life of crime and then fucking become washed up myself, Like, I just started dabbling and got hold of me, I went on a 4-year bender.
And your drug of choice was heroin?
Oh, I was using ice, weed, alcohol, benzos, juice, GHB, but heroin was the one that really got into me, smoke and smack. And then fucking, yeah, man, within 4 years, like, I become a shell of a man. I'm sure you said you'd seen photos.
Yeah, I've seen a photo and it's fucking unrecognisable. It's wild.
Yeah, because I wasn't making money, I become just an addict. I was that junkie looking for the rock, and I was homeless, washed up, starving, broken. You name it, man, like fucking just really fucking a mess. Man, I tried to take my own life, like heaps of shit, OD 3 times. Had crews coming at me while I was washed up on the junk, which is standard, you get someone while they're down in that life,
Yeah.
It's a standard manoeuvre, so I had crews coming at me and it was just ugly. But I ended up getting over that. So I dug deep and fucking, I got over my addiction after about 4 years of just writing myself off. And then as soon as I got over it, I just jumped on social media. Now I knew for what it was, that life wasn't worth it. Plus I knew what it was like to be an addict. And so, I pretty much touched all bases. My my resume was done for street life, you know. I got it sorted, ticked all the boxes, and yeah, man, just started pushing the message that it's a shit life. And here we are today. Got a few 100,000 followers. I've got my own business, you know. Hope Cartel's my brand. And
Yeah, shout out to Hope Cartel.
push the message. Yeah, that's what it is. I suppose finally got purpose, you know, a bit of self-worth. Like, it was like I went through all that shit to be where I am today, so I can push the message and help others that are ready to get out their life, you know.
Did
So,
people like Mansa and Spanion and shit kind of inspire you a lot to do that?
Spanion did.
Because Spanion was probably
Yeah.
one of the first like ex-crims to... Because at the moment, there's not... I wouldn't say it's a trend, but it's a popular avenue for ex-crims to go down now.
For sure.
But a lot of them don't do it right. Like, a lot of them are probably fucking doing it for other reasons.
Glorifying it,
and
yeah.
glorifying it and shit. You got kind of a different... You and Russell and Spanion kind of got a different vibe to you.
I respect Spanion for, you know, definitely he turned a raw street brand and went viral with it, you know. So
He's fucking good at what he does, bro.
yeah, man, it's working, isn't it? You know.
Everyone, like, anything he touches turns to gold because he's just got, like, the gift of the gab. Like,
Yeah.
he's a funny fucking cunt to watch.
Yeah.
He's a hard cunt. Like, you wouldn't want to roll up on him. He's a fucking unit.
Yeah.
And he's, like, you could tell he's about that life. Like, but he's
Yeah.
he sounds
I
like,
think
he
these
seems like
days
he's a good dude.
a family man, you know.
Yeah, he seems like he's
That-
a really good dude.
Yeah, that comes out in it, which I reckon's cool, man. He's a dad and shit, you know.
And he
So-
says shit that just comes. He doesn't have a filter.
Yeah.
Like, he just says shit.
doesn't
Like,
give
he
a
might
fuck.
not say the right thing
Yeah.
sometimes, but at least he fucking says it. Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't
that's right.
hold back his thoughts because he
Yeah.
has a platform, which I appreciate.
I pretty much push the message of sobriety and, like, you know, stepping away from that life down people's throat, you know, because I remember when I wanted to change, like I said, I tried to take my own life, transitioning from that old life to where I am today, and there was no one there telling me, tap me on the shoulder, telling me it was a good idea. Like, when I beat my cases, it was 2.5 years. I still remember 2.5 years till I could say the word that I didn't want to be a criminal anymore.
Yeah,
it was like a
right.
dirty secret. Like, I'd been so wired into, you know, we're fucking tough guns, fucking all this shit, you know, that to me turn around to someone and say, listen, I don't want to be a crook no more, was fucking like, it was taboo, man. Like, I just couldn't
Yeah.
do it, you know what I mean? So, like, and there was no one telling me, bro, it's all right, you're allowed to think like this, you can get out the life, you know. So and that's why I tried to neck myself and all the rest of it, you know. Tried to get knocked by suicide by cop and all this crazy shit. But so I remember that. And so what I do now is every day when I pump the message out and I post and do content and stuff, I'm thinking about the people that are sitting there going, fuck, man, I wish I could get off the gear, or, you know, I don't want to go back to fucking jail. The boys are going out tonight. I can't be fucking getting another pinch. The missus is going to kill me if I get pinched, you know. I think of all that, and then so I make it cool to want to get out that life, you know what I mean? To want to turn your back on it. So when they're ready, I mean, you can't make anybody do anything, but when someone's ready for change, they're having those thoughts, like I said I was, and then they scroll past, they hear me aerating about, fuck, I'm telling you, it's better out the life, like, fuck that street shit, it's all lies, you know, it's all fake, fuck the drugs, you know, fuck jail, being with your family for Christmas, this, that's where it's at, you know. Then they're like, fuck yeah, man, fucking Gaz, you're right, you know what I mean? And like, I get bulk feedback.
You actually posted a video of a young lad on your Instagram, the other day.
Yeah, I did.
It was I didn't see it, but he is going through like he's gone through addiction.
Yeah, addiction and crime and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like my videos helped him turn his life around.
See,
you
that's
know?
fucking gangster. If you can do that to this podcast in no fucking facet is a mental health podcast. Like, I don't even fucking understand my fucking mental health. I'm not like much of a chatter with fucking feelings and shit.
Yeah.
This is the wrong kind of podcast for that. But
Yeah.
if you can help like one kid, that's your job done.
Yeah,
Like, even if you just
100%.
help fucking one,
100%.
and you help a lot more than one.
I live for it, you know. That's fucking, like I said, man, I've got purpose, self-worth. Now it's grouse, man. I love it.
But you're still like, you're
It's my
still a
thing.
human. Do you fucking, like, you're not a robot who can just turn it off? Do you ever miss that kind of life every now and then? Like, miss the rush that used to come along with that kind of, not the junkie phase, but like your more the crime phase of your life?
Yeah, man. Like, of course, man. Some of the best times I've ever had
When you're red hot.
were fucking spending money, you know, like drug money and shit.
Yeah.
But at what expense? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, it was probably because some fucking kids were starving and missing out on Christmas presents. I was getting the money off their parents for gear. You know what I mean? Like, so it's pretty true. I see it for what it is. I really stopped to smell the roses. There's not many out there that speak about it like I do, you know, because I tell how it is. And at the end of the day, man, I feel sorry for the fucking kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even a dad, But how many fucking kids are robbed of their fucking childhood because of the war on drugs? You know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
how many people are dying and fucking this and that. And how much did you attribute to a family getting broken apart? That's the kind of shit that eats you.
Yeah, bro, and that's why I do what I do now. You know what I mean? Like, cunts, like, if they're not ready for change, then whatevs, that's all good. But I am. You know what I mean? I know how much fucking poison I pushed into my community. You know how many families my product broke up.
What was
I
your
can
drug
only
of choice to sell with pingers, wasn't it?
I got pinched selling speed and ecstasy.
It was red mitzies?
Green mitzies. Yeah, green mitzies it was.
No comment.
7,000 of them. And,
Fuck.
And then a kilo of speed got done, and that's what put me away for a fucking few years.
That's a big
undercovers
one.
and all that, you know, like it was.
What was the feeling like when did you get pinched over? Like, was it just like fucking bang or?
Nah, they were like buying off a bouncer I was supplying, so they were just stashing it like.
Hindsight, excellent,
good
good for you because it wouldn't have got you.
Yeah.
Like if shit didn't work out how it worked out, you wouldn't be who you are now, probably.
Yeah, that's true, 100%. But that should have been my turnaround, but it wasn't. I got back out, and then the ice epidemic kicked in. So, mate, the money that can be made out of ice is fucking crazy, and that's what's going on in the streets. You know what I mean? Like Coke's making a comeback, but the ice and the Coke now too.
Ice was running insane in Adelaide in like 2000. Oh, fuck, I'd say 2010 through 2015, ice was fucking... It was easier to go by a point than it was a J-bag.
Yeah, 100%.
It's wild.
And if you get in it and like you actually doing it proper, you can make $1 million a second. You know what I mean?
Because you got repeat customers.
How a cunt's going to turn that away? You got some kid that comes from a broken home and he fucking puts his head down, bum up for a few months. You know, he can make $1 million.
How much was a point of gear back in then?
Oh, fucking... I can remember it being 100, and I can remember it going all the way down to 25. Yeah, I can remember when it first started, it was a hunch.
And the shit that you're putting into that pipe and smoking is
10,
wild.
And now they're probably 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5. I reckon 5 would be way expensive, actually. Yeah, they'd be lower than that. So it's crazy, you know, like, but fucking... Yeah, man, if you got the connect and you've got the fucking customers, man, cunts are making meals, you know, and that's what it is, man. It'd be nothing to get, you know, fucking buy a fucking Porsche or a fucking Lambo or a Rolls or something, you know, these days and that's what's enticing to them, you know what I mean?
Instagram fucking destroys people's minds, man. They see people with all this shit that they rent. Like, half the shit you see on Instagram is all rented anyway. Like, these lifestyles, they're all fucking rented. Like, all the private jets and shit you see... There's a fucking studio where you can go take pictures in them and shit. Like, it's all fake lifestyle.
Yeah, full fake.
And it ruins kids' fucking minds, and then they do stupid shit because they think they need to be earning $250,000 by fucking 19.
Yeah. They wanted that watch on their fucking wrist and all the rest of it.
It's insane. Like, there's this thing in America now that's huge. It's called Trank. Have you heard it? Trank?
No, what?
It's horse. They're using basically juice, but they're injecting it.
And that's what is it? Fucking turning cunts into zombies.
Yeah,
eating
dude,
their flesh and shit. Is that the one?
Yeah, in Canada they've decriminalised all drugs in Toronto, in one of the cities, Vancouver maybe or Toronto. So it's become a hub for junkies.
Yeah.
So people will move to Canada now just to fucking go use drugs and become homeless. And there's hordes of motherfuckers, and they get spine issues because of Trank.
Yeah.
And they're all leaned over and they're bent over and they're fucking on and nod and shit. It's a wild drug. They're like eating fucking flesh and it's wild shit, man.
It's ugly, isn't it?
It's fucking putrid.
It's putrid. It's like that fentanyl that's doing in America.
Like you can't apparently get cocaine or MDMA in America now without it probably being laced with fentanyl, and it'll just drop you straight away.
The government know exactly what they're doing, mate. They know.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Big Pharma's the biggest dealer out there. They're cutting in on every cunt's grass. If you think you're a dealer in the streets, you know, running and that, look, they've just done with weed, and I'm not against weed, man. Like, I'm not against anything. I'm just against, you know, your life being a putrid life, and, you know, make sure you can get it better. That's what I'm all about. But, you know, like, fucking, if you're out there and you're fucking getting on the drug or you're selling the drug, mate, Big Pharma's going to cut your grass, 100%. You know what I mean? They're moving in on everybody's territory. Next minute, I won't be surprised till, like, you got hillbilly heroin, like we're saying, fent and fucking methadone, bupe and all that, oxys, and now you know, they've just fucking legalised weed. Like, man, I know cunts that did 10 years for fucking weed.
That's fucking
you know what I mean?
wild.
Now look at
And
it in America, bro. You know,
in Thailand, they fucking legalised weed, and they used to fucking put people to the gallows for fucking a dime bag back in the day.
What about alcohol, bro? When that was shit, you know, the bootlegging days, you know, that used to be fucking the prohibition and shit. It's crazy. The government is just like, yes, no, when we want to cut out of it, we'll make it okay, you know.
They just
Crazy.
legalised mushies here in Melbourne, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mushies and MDMA for
Yeah.
PTSD treatment, which I think's fucking. Do you know what? In a controlled environment, if you got some fucking demons,
Yeah.
and if you can go into a safe place and take a safe dosage of MDMA or mushrooms, and it makes you unlock memories that you fucking have suppressed your whole life, it's probably excellent for you.
Yeah.
But like. It's funny that they're just allowing these things now, but they've sold cigarettes for fucking $40 a packet for fucking the last 8 years, and they're making $6 billion a fucking year off the tobacco industry.
You know?
It's wild.
Huh? Tobacco's a motherfucker.
It's the worst one to quit. It's the hardest.
And you got all these lads warring over tobacco shops and that now.
Dude, there's fucking the illegal tobacco trade is insane now because if I'm a pack a day smoker, I'm spending fucking quick maths like $300 fucking dollars a week, $280 a week. It's.
What about the vapes?
Don't even fucking start, bro. I'm dual wielding. I got fucking cigarettes over there, and I got the vape here for when I can't go have a fucking cigarette. The tobacco industry is fucking wild. And I've done like a lot of fucking drugs, and it's insane that this is the one that just a little fucking cartoon character is the one that gets me, eh?
It's nice and colourful too.
It's fucking fun to look at. It's fun to hold.
It's pretty.
But if it helps with like tobacco for me. I've smoked since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I get really fucking irritable if I don't have
Yo,
nicotine, bro.
Bro, when I was in jail, right? So I can remember coming off like tobacco, so pouch tobacco, like rolly. So going to the slot, and they're like they take everything off you. And next minute you fucking lock down, and you got no cigarettes. Yeah, this is back when. But so coming off the rollies was pretty intense. But coming off Taylor's, bro.
Oh, it's impossible.
Fuck me.
They
I remember
pack 'em.
coming off Taylor's, we were running a racket, so we're doing all right, and we're smoking packets of Taylor's, you know, like proper ciggies, not the rollies. And fucking next minute you go in, like within 24 hours, I want to bite the screw's face off, man. Like it is fucking sends you mental. Way worse than rollies. Like I've come off Taylor's cold turkey, like a hard habit, and then come off rollies because of the slot in prison. I felt, man, like there's a big difference between them. Those Taylors are poison.
It'd be like coming off heroin.
Yeah, bro, those Taylors send you fucking nuts, you know? Yeah.
Dude, if I don't have any form of nicotine, I'm the most fucking vicious, vile human in the fucking world.
Yeah, fucking
just
nice.
anything annoys me. Like people breathing in my direction will fucking annoy me if I don't have nicotine.
Yeah. What about so you're saying before about drugs, you get on the drugs and that you've had heaps of drugs and all that. So what about the DMT?
DMT's the craziest experience I've ever fucking had in my life.
Same.
So we actually told Shannon the funny story about DMT on the way from Adelaide to here. So I fucking was doing DMT. For anyone who doesn't know what DMT is, it's like a sap from it's a chemical, not a chemical, it's like a sap you can get from certain plants, and it's in everything. Everything contains DMT. It's just extracting it, and some plants are richer with it than other plants. And you can get it in like a chunga form, which is like, it looks like weed almost. Or you can get it in crystals.
Strongest hallucinogenic in the world.
Yeah, dude. And the first time I got it in crystals.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's the best way to smoke this? And they said, unfortunately, it's best smoked through a crack pipe. And I was like, great. So I called my mate, he's a glazier, and I was like, you got to do me a solid and don't ask me any questions. And he's like, well, I was like, can you blow me a crack pipe? And he's like, but don't tell anyone. I was like, don't tell anyone. And he's like, why? And I was like, it's not for crack, I swear. Yeah. And he gave me the pipe. And we were doing it, and I was like like a fucking fish in water. I was like just getting it, but it didn't.
Did you break through?
No, I fucking got like pretty vivid visuals, but that was it. And then I done it again, and then it worked, but it wasn't amazing. And then one day I had this chunga shit, this like leaf, and I packed a cone of it.
Yeah.
And my mates were all hammered outside, blackout drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys want to do some DMT? And then fucking they were like, you do it first. And I was like, done, because I've done it fucking like 4 times at this point. So I hit the bong, and all I remember is I looked up from my backyard, and my backyard just went...
Yeah.
And it was just pitch black, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Heavy.
And there was these, like, you know the dragons that the Chinese people drew in their, like,
Yep.
Chinese New Year dancing? And
Yeah.
they're like, this, like, golden dragon was just, like, started dancing towards me, and I just started getting really hot. And I just heard this, like, whoo, 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 in my ear. And then fucking I just shot off. And it was weird. I saw my granddad.
Yeah, bro, it's heavy.
It was fucking heavy.
Yeah, bro, fucking oath. I that's probably one thing, like, I would, in a controlled environment, like I'm talking like proper, go to Peru.
You'd recommend it?
Like, I don't know about recommend it.
If you're
I
in the
don't want
right
to be that guy,
mind space.
but I probably would have it myself. Like, just, I feel like it's a spirit, there's a spiritual side of it. Like, it, you know, it could take you on a journey, maybe find yourself a bit more. But like I said, I wouldn't advise anybody, because if someone's coming out of a fucking ice episode, they've got to be a psychosis, and they think,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just going
not
to
good-
go
not
fucking
good for
try.
you.
You probably would never find yourself again, you
Yeah.
know, like. So, but like me personally, I'd probably have a crack at that. I don't know when it found me, you know, like, and I'd have to be in.
Oh,
like,
you haven't done it yet?
No, I've done it.
Oh, you've done it.
But I probably do. That's probably one thing. I'm anti-drugs myself, but just for my
I
own
don't
journey.
see. I
but
don't
I'd
see
probably
it.
have it again.
I
Like,
wouldn't call it a drug.
if you ripped it out now, but no way. It'd be like,
Yeah.
it'd be in a controlled environment, like full proper spiritual shaman.
You have to have the right
traditional,
day,
you know,
the
yeah.
right vibe. Because I don't find
Traditional.
DMT is not a drug where it's like, oh, I've got to do it today, or
Yeah.
like I've got to keep doing it. It's
Yeah.
like, if you do it properly, you don't even want to fucking look at it for a year, 2 years, because it fucking takes you to some fucking strange places.
I've
dude.
only ever had it once. I come home from prison, and this one of my mates, he's into trips, acid and fucking, you know, psychedelics and all that shit. He's a little trippy cunt and that, and fucking, he's like, oh, guys, I got this shit, man. This fucking, this wicked shit. What do you got there, mate? You know, I've had it all, you know. He goes, fucking have a crack at this. I said, all right. He goes, you got to have it in the dark, you know, he says to me. He goes, have it in the dark. I said, all right, well, you fuck all off, because I'm going to go have this shit in the bedroom. Like, I don't, tell me how to have it, how much to have, but I don't want you all standing around fucking laughing at me while I'm rolling around like a fucking dying praying mantis. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want a bar of it. Fucking, and so I told him, well, like, go and that, and I fucking put it in the bong, just like a bit of fucking, a bit was powder, like crushed up. So I put tobacco and then a little bit on top, like a snow cone. I hit it. Fuck me, man. I've had, like, you know, growing up, techers and that, so you can imagine, like, you know, we're shuffling around, popping bickies on the weekend, taking acid and shit like that, soda bulbs and all that shit. Fucking intense times, but man, this was next level. Like, it fucking blew my mind. And I remember the taste of it. It tastes like fucking ass.
It tastes like burning plastic.
Yeah, it was fucking. And as soon as I inhaled it, before I even got a chance to blow it out, man, my whole shit just, I felt this rush.
Yeah.
It's like, felt like I was on the Gravitron, like magnets or something, you know?
Mm.
It was fucking intense. And then I blew it out. I blew it out for fucking, I grabbed my head. And as I've grabbed my head, I peeled my head through, like, my hands, like, peeled through my head like it was wet wax. Like, they just teared straight through it. And then I went all, like, gacky. Like, my hands were all drippy. I thought, fuck me. I lay back on the bed. And fuck knows where I went, man. I went into another fucking land, you know? Like, it was all like, you know, those kaleidoscopes and shit. You know, like, you
Yeah.
look through, it was like one of them.
That's the visual most people see.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
it was
a
like, they was changing the shapes, and there was all this shit going down.
geometrical patterns and shit.
Yeah, it was fucking, like, really fucking next level, man. I never felt anything like it. And then fucking, I woke up when I come, like, because I definitely broke through. And when I come to, bro, I don't know how, I lost time. I don't know how long it felt, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever. I was just all my clothes were laying on the bed. Like, the room was pulsating different colours. And, like, nothing was in my clothes. So I looked down, I'm laying on the bed, and I'm just a head on the pillow. Like, my pants and my top were empty. You know what I mean? Like, I was just a fucking head. Like, my clothes, like, I'm full tripping, like, proper visuals. Like, my shit was just, like, it was like someone laid the clothes on the bed, and I was just a head on the pillow. I'm like, fuck, I'm off my dick, you know? Like, what the fuck's going on here? And then it, like, started to come around slowly. Yeah,
That
shit-
clear-headed, the moment when you come out of DMT and you're like, am I still in? Like, am I still?
hectic.
It's the wildest feeling, because I don't know if you've ever taken mushrooms as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you take mushrooms, right before, like, at the end of the trip, you get this real clarity. Like, your vision, like, I don't know, my vision when I'm on mushrooms is fucking insane. Like, I can see this table, but then I'll see, like,
Yeah.
the fucking shit the table's made of, and like you feel real in tune with everything.
Like, you see the molecules.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, and
Yeah.
they've done some crazy shit. Like there's been like programs where the government will take DMT and get people to like map out the world they see
Yeah.
and shit. Like they've done some crazy.
Have
shit.
you had acid?
I've done acid a few times, but I was always a uppers guy.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I've only done, like, we used to have these things called tripstasies.
Yeah.
So it was
acid and ecstasy.
Yeah, and that shit used to send you for a fucking six.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah, candy flipping we used to call
acid
that.
kind of freaks me out though, because you just like never knew. Kind of, you told me that fucking story. That changed my. That will change my. We'll talk about it after the fucking thing. But oh my god, that story has changed my fucking view on everything. That's scary as fuck. He had a mate that went real deep into acid.
Yeah.
But went on a trip for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And
bro.
it full fucking changed his life forever.
I had a bloke telling me a story about acid. He made these trips, and like they were real dirty, so he made him in a bathtub, this, that, and he was handing them out, and they were fucking filthy. Like they really tripped you, like really yuck, and they were strong. He didn't even have stamps on, like there was no print on them, so they were just blotting paper, just white. He called them fingerprints or something, I think, because they were, there was nothing on them. Anyway, went missing, like you said just then. He went missing for a couple of weeks. And anyway, we ended up seeing him. I said, what happened? He goes, fuck, mate, you can't. He was telling me, I'll never forget it. He's telling me, he goes, bro, I had heaps. He was eating shitloads, yeah? Too many. And he goes, I'm sitting in this caravan. There's a bunch of cunts around. He goes, and everything's starting to the curtains are going, the floor's moving, curtains are moving. He goes, every cunt's talking. He goes, and their fucking body language, everything's going real quick. He goes, to the point where it was fucking like on fast forward. The floor's moving, everybody's going, the curtains are banging around. He goes, mate, I'm tripping. He goes, it got that fucking intense. And he goes, and then just a pop. He goes, like that, like a release of pressure. He goes, like a pop of tire or a balloon. He goes, and then my nose just started bleeding. He goes, I ran outside to the tap. He goes, I grabbed the tap. He goes, and then I'm like trying to fucking wash it. He goes, I don't know what's blood and what's water, because he's tripping balls.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so something obviously popped in his head, like he's blown a fucking gasket. You know what I mean? Fuck that, mate. When he told me, it was like, oh, wow, you can have that to yourself, mate. Fucking bang that in your ass.
There used to be this thing you used to buy from like bong shops and stuff called salvia, and it was legal for ages. And salvia is stronger than DMT.
Yeah.
It's got DMT in it, but it's the strongest version.
Yeah.
And that's the bush that they used to burn in churches and shit back in the day. Well, like when Moses was, or whatever fucking was writing the 10 Commandments, they were all huffing fucking this bush. And they were probably having these fucking vivid hallucinations of fucking God and shit.
Yeah.
But there was this dude called Ari Shafir. He's a comedian. He's one of Joe Rogan's mates. Like 15 years ago or 15 years ago, they were doing a podcast live, and he hit salvia, and he fucking went out for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And when he woke up, he freaked out, and he was like, who the fuck are all you cunts? And he was like freaked out, and it's live. You can watch it on YouTube. He's like, I literally thought I was in that trip for 45 years. I had a family. Like, he lived a fucking full life. He had kids, a family, and then he just got ripped out of the fucking trip, and he was back in his life. And it's like, fuck, he literally just went into another dimension for fucking like 40 years, bro. It's wild.
That's crazy. What they say about DMT, they reckon that, you get a dose of it because it's a chemical we have in our body.
Allegedly, it's the chemical that gets dumped in your brain right before you die.
And when you're born too.
Yeah, so that's when your life flashes before your eyes. That's probably the DMT, like
when
flooding
you're born
your shit.
And you die. And also apparently when you stimulate it when you're dreaming.
Yeah.
So it's some fucking next level shit.
Yeah, I feel like all of those can be applied. So this guy I've done a podcast with twice, Lee Ryan, he is he's a specimen, dude. He's like 6'5".
Yep.
120 kilos lean.
Yep.
Like massive unit. Shredded, really successful businessman. But he is obsessed with bettering himself he is obsessed with his mind. Mm-hmm. He goes to like 2 therapy sessions a week.
Yep.
He will sit in a dark room, and take 25 grams of mushrooms, and just sit there for fucking a day and a half, and just lock himself in.
Yeah.
He did 4 back-to-back ayahuasca ceremonies last year.
Yeah.
Because you can do it. There's a retreat in Adelaide in the hills.
Yep.
On the coast, and it's on a farm. It's on 50 acres or something, and you pay. And this shaman comes down from, I believe she comes down from South America or Indonesia, maybe, and she guides you through these hectic ayahuasca trips that last for days.
Yeah,
he did 4 back-to-back ceremonies, and he was trying to talk to his dad because him and his dad had like a fucking terrible relationship.
Yeah,
and he just felt like felt like he kind of did what he needed to do, and he just felt this massive weight lift off his chest and shit. Have you ever thought about doing like an ayahuasca ceremony?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before when I said DMT, like with a shaman, and like, you know, like wouldn't be in this country, but you know, like, and I don't know when it finds me, but like I just had a mate that did some native Indians from America come down and run a ceremony, sweat tent, peyote, this and that. He was telling me about that. That was in Australia, down here in Victoria. But yeah, it's crazy because, you know, I'm full, like, I rock sobriety. You know, being clean's the coolest shit, you know. But and you know, I know people that have used, you know, psychedelics like a DMT experience or ayahuasca to go sober. So like to get, you know, like it's crazy to think of, to use a drug. Do you know what I mean? Well,
apparently mushrooms really good.
Some people wouldn't call it a drug, but to use a substance to get out of your mind, to get you off other shit. You know what I mean? Which is great. That's so far from textbook. You know what I mean? But I'm like not textbook. So to me, that's very interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's something to talk about. I would definitely. I'm not interested in taking any substances. That's not good for where I'm going. But on ayahuasca journey, traditional, like proper, I'd be interested in it. No time soon. That's for sure.
Apparently,
you know?
a great way to quit smoking is to do a fucking hectic dose of mushrooms.
There you go.
And but you got to go in with the intention of why you smoke.
Yeah.
Like so you can fucking unlock some shit. Like if you go into why I really smoke, it's probably because of some fucking trauma that I've fucking locked away.
Yeah.
And I just fucking get anxiety that I don't even know I get anxiety about it. But fucking if you go in with the intention of trying to fix something, you might find out why you do it.
Yeah. Have you done any breath work and stuff like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Interesting. I did a workshop with
apparently it's really good.
Amend Movement. So they're fucking cool dudes, man.
Was that the one where they like fucking scream?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I find it fucking really like hectic to watch that.
It's heavy,
like it was really heavy. I couldn't watch it because it's like it's fucking pretty heavy, man.
Yeah.
It's confronting seeing like a grown man fucking scream at the top of his lungs.
But there's something really fucking, when you talk about trauma, because you know when you said trauma, there's something really powerful about a man that's broken, and then another man says, come here, brother.
Yeah.
And that bloke has a cry on his shoulder. He's like, I got you, cuz. It's all right. You know, there's something huge about that. Like, men helping men heal in a healthy environment. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, Borgie over here, you know, he come and filmed the day when I was doing it. And even he said, man, like, it's fucking heavy to watch. You know?
Yeah, that would have been a heavy vibe. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Like, but that's the breath work. So it's called holotropic breath work. And what it does is a natural release of DMT. So you get visions going on a journey, bro. I went on some heavy shit.
They do them in like cold lakes and shit as well.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of like them doing them in like lakes and rivers and shit.
Yeah, bro. I fucking it changed my life. That shit. I've done a few different things like that. You know, trauma healing.
Do you find you can get addicted to like trying to heal yourself heaps
though?
Oh,
for sure.
Like I know some cunts that like Lee. He is obsessed with bettering himself. Like it's wild. He's so introspective, and it's like
I love it, man. Like I'm fresh fish, man. I'm not only fucking 27 months sober. You know what I mean? Like,
clean slate.
Yeah, and like so fuck, man. It's all early days. They reckon 5 years is like that's the you know where you can say okay, I'm fully sober. It takes 5 years to rewire your head if you've fucked it up with a substance. You know, so like I'm still early days. But that's what I plan on fucking becoming the best version I can, you know. I'm unpacking that shit, you know what I mean? It's like a backpack. You just store that trauma, you know. And I'm slowly getting rid of it. And it's not this bullshit sit on a fucking couch, you know, and they fucking 3-letter diagnosis, write your scripts, come back next month, give us some more money. You know what I mean? It's none of that shit. This is proper, like, spiritual healing, you know. It's definitely, but I changed my, like, when I did the first time I did the breath work, I went on, like, a full trip. Like, we do this breath work, the intervals, and it's sort of like, you know, have you heard of Wim Hof and stuff like that?
Yeah, the Wim Hof like, dude's fucking, he's a menace, dude. He can fight. They injected him with fucking like E. coli or fucking something hectic, and he fucking fought it off by breathing.
Power of the mind, man.
Wild.
Yeah. So like, there's minute intervals, like in between 7-minute cycles.
Yeah,
it's really intense breath work, and you hold your breath for that minute. By the time you're a few cycles in. Right, there was, you know, when you hold your breath, you're underwater, or you hold your breath or something. And you need to breathe. that panic, I need to breathe, that just disappears. Like
You'd be surprised
I
how
could have
much-
held
yeah.
my breath till I was dead.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird. I didn't need to breathe. Like, I was so much in a trance. You know what I mean?
That's
like, if you can
wild.
imagine that. So that's like on some Wim Hof shit. But yeah, bro, next minute I'm under, eyes are closed, I'm breathing and fucking, bro, I was new to all this. You know, I've done it a few times and experienced it all. But when it first happened, the first thing that come in were like these orbs. They were like energy. So like, they were fucking straight up. They were life. I was on another planet. They were life forces. Like, they were like a energy, like a, you know, and but they weren't in human form, and they weren't talking to me like we talk now. They were talking to me like from soul to soul. So it was like feelings.
Yeah.
So talking from feeling to feeling. And the first thing that come in was my dog that had passed away. So my dog come in, and all she wanted to do was sit next to me. It was just loyalty. She was like, "Oh, you've been gone for ages. You're here now."
Fuck, dude, I don't fucking cry about much, but so with something
Right.
with dogs, something with fucking dogs, man, it always gets me.
Bro, I just started bawling straight away, you know. She just wanted to be next to me. And then the next thing that come in, like, so first it was her, and then the next thing that come was a little me, like a younger me. So like my younger self. And come in and was like, "Where you been, man?" Like,
This
I
is all
lost you.
sober, eh?
This is full sober, under breath work. I'm on my back, intense breathing, eyes closed. There's music going, this traditional music and stuff. And the coaches are walking around. They're putting their hands on your shoulders saying, "It's all right, breathe, you're safe, it's okay." You know what I mean? They're talking you through it. And fucking, you know, I just started, these energies started come in and talk to me, you know. And the first one was my dog. And all that was loyalty. She just wanted to sit near me. Like, she missed me. And now I was here, she was content. And that was it. It's like she would have waited 100 years. And they say when you pass over to the next life, I'm not religious, I'm very spiritual, I believe in the universe, but they say when you pass over to the next life, that the first thing that come and meet you is your pets.
I fucking hope so.
It's crazy, you know? So like that, and then the next thing come in was my younger self, my inner child, and they were like a little bit of like felt sorry for me. Like, where'd you go?
Yeah,
I lost you.
fucking
You know what
heavy,
I mean?
man.
Like, where'd you go? Like, we were just playing in the sandpit, and now you ran away and fucking cooked yourself, you know? And then I'm bellowing by this time, I'm full fucking crying like a bitch, man, you know? Then fucking, I had a mate come in. All the people that had come and seen me, all the energies that come and see were people that had passed on, you know? And my mate come and see me. He was just like a real, almost like a jester feel. Like, he was just cheeky. Like, "Hey, Gaz, where you been, man? Fucking funny cunt." Do you know what I mean? Like, "Missed ya." You know, he just wanted to have fun. I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? And then a couple of mates that, like, from the old life, like deep in the old life, they come and they just, like, just looking over me. You know what I mean? Just give me sort of a nod. They're a bit cold, but. And then my dad come in, man. My fucking dad, he's passed away, and he was like a big, strong energy. He was like a lion up there, man. And bro, you can imagine when your fucking dad, and he was just like, he had this feeling towards me. He's like, he was really proud. He's like, "I'm proud of you." But then as soon as I was like, "Oh, yes, Dad's proud of me," then it was like, "Now put your money where your mouth is. You want to fucking walk the walk, now talk the talk." You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, "I've got this," you know, like, Dad's proud of me, but I've got more to offer, you know. And then my nan and pop come in, and they come in like they were twin. They were the one energy. My nan and pop, they both passed away within a week of each other. So they come in, they were one energy. Then I got blamed for a mate's death. He come in, and we were cool. He's like, "We're good, man. We're good." You know, I got blamed for his death, and a lot of people probably still think I had something to do with it. But he come in and let me know we're good. It was just crazy, man. It was fucking heck. Changed my whole world.
That'd fuck me up, eh? That would fucking nail me.
I come out of that with the idea that what we're doing now is sweet fuck all. Do you know, this life that we're in?
It's just fun and games.
It's jack shit, man. This is just a fucking smidgen of what we got to offer. Our soul is eternal, and we're like a collective consciousness. You know, consciousness. The universe is like, this is how I felt after that experience. The universe is us, and we're all part of it. We're all one, and that we're just in a vessel now. Like, you've probably been around for millions of years, brother. You know what I mean? You're just using this little fucking gadget you got going on now that you call yourself. You know what I mean?
I reckon you just, when you die, I reckon you just wake up and have another life, eh? That's just how I think
crazy,
it. Right?
Man.
I don't know. It's just hard to say.
It's deep shit.
It's hard to. It's impossible to know what happens. But I don't think everything just goes black and then you die. I think it fucking.
Oh, it's definitely more out there.
I think you fucking die and then you fucking wake up, wah, and then you're just fucking doing something else. Because it's weird as sometimes you have deja vu with people and shit that you've never met before.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, did I meet you in like my last life or like. It's and kids are the worst.
It's like people with bad luck.
Kids will say some shit, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like people with bad luck. Maybe they were a cunt in their last life.
Killed a Chinaman or something. They say,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, that's what it. You know, that's all. And I believe that we're like, after my experience, I believe that you know, I had so many answers answered that day from the people that I've gone. I didn't know I was going to see them get. I'm almost like I'm okay now. To whatever, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I'm good, man.
I need to hook you up.
With it,
I need to hook you up with You would have a really good talk with Lee.
Yep.
He's a fucking really. He's a pretty intense man to talk to because he's so fucking passionate. Like you can hear the fucking him choking himself up and not like tearing up.
It's cool.
During talk, like he's a very intense person.
Got a lot
to
of
talk
emotion
to.
on his chest.
Yeah, very emotional man.
Yeah.
But like he is one of the most intense and most philosophical people I've ever talked to.
Yeah.
And he would be so good for you to chat to. Like there's the ayahuasca ceremonies in Adelaide, dude. They're on like 100 acres of rolling hills in the nicest area you ever see, and they're in like, you get a nice dormitory and you're all in white and you're fucking, there's like a group of like 10 of you doing it.
Yeah, link me up with him through socials.
Yeah,
I'll give him a follow on
he's
that
a
for sure.
fucking great man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't keep you too long because we've got some shit to do today.
It's all good, man.
You've got some content to make because you're a content fucking machine.
Yes, I am.
But just give everyone a shout out to where they can find you, TikTok, all your handles,
Yep.
Hope Cartel's website, all the merch drops.
Just Gaz Wright, so Gaz, Gaz Wright for WRIGHT. Just Gaz Wright on all platforms. You'll find me like that. And Hope Cartel, man, it links in all my bios. You just Google Hope Cartel, take you straight from my website. Yeah, plenty of merch dropping on there. And yeah, man, fucking just pushing the message. It's a movement of fucking, you know, it's cool to be kind. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good merch run.
You know, I'm fucking no longer a fucking dope dealer. I'm a fucking hope dealer now, you know. I push the hope, not the dope, which is pretty cool, man. And, you know, for once in my life, I'm doing something right, you know, helping people, not hurting them. So it's all good, you know. I'm happy. It's a good journey.
I appreciate you coming on, bro. It was fucking nice meeting you.
Sweet as.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Boom.